We are going on with the second part of our lesson, Zohar. What is actually the spirituality? Everyone pretends that he has to do with something spiritual. I mean, every spiritual movement, religion, and the views are different, sometimes completely different. Someone worships the animals. Another one grasses. Someone the earth. Others take it higher and believe in the omnipotence of the sun or stars. How can we define the spirituality? Before we open the first page of the Zohar. In order to cleanse ourselves from all kinds of imaginations, knowledges, spiritual knowledges that can disturb our wish to build up a tete-a-tete relation with Ein Sof. It's like this, that it's like this, you can buy an radio receiver, and of low power, cheap, and you can only catch the waves, radio waves of your city where you live. Then you can buy a stronger radio receiver that can catch a great region. If you are in America, probably the half of America, you can catch the radio stations from the half of America. But there are also receivers by which one can catch also the very special, very high resolutions of the frequencies of the radio waves, so that enables a person to come in touch with a ship that sends some information. So we see that everything is a question of from where the information is received. the frequencies of the waves, the higher frequency, the shorter the waves, the higher kind of information is that. In such a way works also everything, every knowledge, every what they call spiritual knowledge that is received here on earth. So to someone is given, or to a nation, or to a group of people, or individuals, is given the knowledge on with the frequencies very low to near the earth. To others is given higher, but all of the knowledges, religions, and spiritual movements, or the movements, the wisdom, all kinds of wisdoms also are given here on earth from a different level of the frequencies of this kind of like a radio, like in this example with the radio waves. And all of them, except the Kabbalah, are lying within what I call the placenta of the universe, like an embryo lies in the belly of his mother, is secured by this place and feels comfortable over there, and it's sensitive material. In the same way is everything that is given to the mankind is within the placenta of the universe. Of course it gets something that sensually resembles the spirituality, but everything is only within this placenta, and there exists an instruction, one instruction that is given to a mankind to receive the spirituality from the source where it is, and this is out of this placenta of the universe, from the area where nothing material is, where no shuttle ever can and could enter, where no material molecule or atoms, whatever, electron, will be able to enter. From that place, and also that place is structured higher, 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 up till the end, up till the Ein Sof, up till it's getting completely undefinable. From that areas, and that's the area of the spirituality, of the spiritual worlds. And over there start 5 spiritual worlds. Of course, they are not only 5, they are plenty. They are endless. But we say 5 because between the first one and the first, the highest one, and the 4 lower worlds, spiritual worlds, are the place where also all endless worlds were, but they are connected through the Ein Sof, they are connected with each other. From that place comes the only spirituality. And spirituality means, in this sense, the Or Chaya, the Or Chayim, Chochmah, the light of life. Only this light of the highest frequencies of waves brings to a person and to human society, to all the universe, the redemption and fulfillment. And every human being is has in himself the whole structure of those worlds, of the structure of these spiritual worlds, that brings him, by the developing of which he can tune himself to these worlds that form the Etz Chaim, the tree of life. And in the human being, there are 4 main places that he must bring them together in order to receive this light, or Hachaya, the living light, that breaks all the resistance in the world and in all the worlds, and comes to this person, to the person who calls for it and who is prepared, who worked on himself to receive it. And how to receive this light, how to bring oneself in conformity with this teaches us the Holy Zohar. And the Etz Chaim of Ari, and it teaches us in several words how to connect these 4 places in the person: his eyes, inner eyes, that corresponds to naturally to his upper, to his outside eyes, of course. Everything is built up in the same structure. So the eyes, the mouth of the person, what he says, the heart of a person, what he feels, how he feels, and the yesod, the foundation of a person, that place that corresponds outer with his place of his sexual organ. So by connecting these four places, only by this, and this corresponds with the four letters of the name of tetragrammaton, the four letters of the name of Havaya, Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei, or Chochma, Bina, Tiferet, and Malchut. Every time when a person connects these four places in himself in one line, he gets in touch with those areas from where outside of the placenta of the universe, from where the light of life comes. The clue is to learn how to connect it, how to make the right connections, and nothing can bring it to a person except the thoroughly study of the Holy Zohar and Etz Chaim of Ari. That's why it's so important to emphasize on all these aspects before we are starting to learn Zohar. Why we are starting learning Zohar? The goal must always be before our eyes. The Kabbalah is not a religion, and the Kabbalah is not a science. Very careful, try to listen what you hear, whereby switch off your head. No one says to you, I will never say to someone, follow me. But after the lesson, you can think what you want. But first, try to get the information, what I say. Because, and now it's very important what I want to say, everything, every word, every movement, what I do, and I work not only with words, the 90% of what I want, what I say, how I say, I do it from within, from my inner places, from the Zohar that made in me all these kinds of places that in common, that are in common with the areas outside of the placenta of the Hilal, of the universe. And that's why the information what you will receive even from the place, from my voice, from whatever, even when I will not find a right word, from this you can also learn. Because also Zohar reveals things and also hidens. These two, they come hand in hand. That's why it's so important to tune yourself before you start, before you touch the real spirituality. And attention, that be attentive on this, what I said about this light of Chaya, the light of life. Only this light that comes from outside of the placenta of the universe, only this light has such a high degree of frequencies that it can break any diseases. It breaks all kinds of results of the sins of a person. You know, how the person sins. He wants to receive into his desires which are for himself. And so he does it, and even he doesn't sin with hands and feet, or with other organs. He can still sin in his fantasy, and by making sins, he puts some of his energies, creative energies, kodesh, holy energies, that he produces them, as it were, with his fantasies, and these holy energies are taken in captivity to all kinds of dressings. The dress, it's getting dressed by unclean powers. How we will study? Of course, you studied something of Lilith, of this kind. And so, in such a way, these balls of energy, which they are presented, and a person can't get rid of them. And only this light, if someone knows how to get it, comes through them like balance, and goes through it and releases the holy powers that are inside, that were captured inside, and gives the life to a person. In the same way is the method for the of the healing, the right healing, the spiritual healing, not here on earth, like what they're doing, paranormal things, or like this, psychology, and like this. But that's why we say that all lodges, psychology, and all kind of lodges ends, starts the spirituality. This is a small introduction to our study in order to give you some thoughts on how we will study. And of course I trembling to start the Zohar itself, in order that not I will speak, but the Zohar will speak. Not I will tell you something, words of wisdom, but I will only be a medium to bring the Zohar to you. My students know this, how it works. And this requires also an additional attitude. Notice for yourself this word of attitude. By the way, if you find some words that I say that maybe you can correct me in words, or give me better suggestions, you are welcome. I would like to receive from you all remarks, because I give it not for myself, I give it in the first instance for you. But the attitude, this special attitude, is that the world doesn't know. I didn't met it in any Kabbalistic schools of our time, only in the school of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Ari. One was obliged to do it, to make himself in conformity with this attitude. And this is to make yourself inner from inside, to try to make yourself, when you listen to the lesson, to try to make yourself as a point, as a dot. Of course, your ego lives, but in the time when you are listening to we're working out the lesson, make yourself to a dot. Then you will be able to receive the same do I on the day of giving my Zohar lesson. I give it on Thursday evening, 3 hours, all the day, and I give it on from 6:30 p.m. All the day I don't do anything. I don't study other things. Of course, I look a little bit the Zohar, a piece of Zohar that we will study, just to bring him in myself and to let it work in myself. to let it happen, to let the lesson just happen. But also I make myself as a dot, just as a dot, when all the day, and also in the evening when I am in the class giving my Zohar.